Yeah, you know, though it's similar to the desk where I just have to ask you questions and just pretend like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man.
Are you ready? Are you ready for map 2? Do you think this is going to be closer, better,
To be honest,
faster, stronger?
I kind of feel like I just slept for 40 minutes in that last game, so I'm definitely ready for a good game now, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think they definitely need to turn some stuff around. I do sort of agree with what Dust was saying, that like not too much has changed over Inferno. I think it's like a lot of it still comes to taking that like deep banana control. I think most players still know how to do like a lot of the basics. So I think it's a bit easier to slot into this. However, a lot of the sort of gambles that you see taken on Inferno with rotations, I feel a lot of that comes down to on-the-fly calls. And again, I feel like that could be a little bit more of a problem. Like you do see those like 4-1 gamble stacks and AWP set up ready to try and hold on to banana, whether or not you're going to be taking like deep banana control or if you're going to be very passive. I think a lot of that comes down to, okay, the individual players themselves and how they play off each other, but at the same time, somebody normally has to be the infrastructure of that.
Yeah, for sure, but I think also just Red Reserve, they just have a much better understanding of how to play Inferno. So I think everything from start to finish will be much better. Instant headshots here from HellRaisers. Will they check the boost? They will not. Foden jumping down, but gets taken down, and now it's only the low players that are left. Angel with 1 and Voxic with 1, and now Freddy Frog already dinked up. He will also go down. And then it's Krias who does find 1. Gonna battle Voxic. That's never a smart idea. Voxic takes him out instantly, and now it's Relax at 19 HP and a dream.
And he's so worried that there's going to be somebody coming in on the flank. He is correct, but just the timing of it, I don't think it's going to play too much of a part. Voxic has been looking pretty damn confident, and he even has Bondic with him as well. Already the pistol round easily secured in the favor of HellRaisers. Definitely not the start that Red Reserve were looking for. Of course, we talk about the sort of building up of economy, getting all of that utility. We'll see if they save a little bit in this round to do so. Otherwise, they are going to have some limitations in their first buy.
Yeah, and I mean we saw it here in the North game, right? Both T-side teams took the pistol, so it's not that big of a deal for Red Reserve to lose this first pistol. It is usually the T-side that picks up the pistol on Inferno. It's really hard to play CT pistol on Inferno simply because you kind of have to either gamble or hit some really insane shots. And in this one, they did gamble actually towards the B-bomb site, but the ones that were hitting the 6 shots were the HellRaisers guys, and that was what made the difference. Again, they're gamble stacking towards B, and we'll see if this time something has changed. Instant headshot again. Now Krias is on B. That's definitely something new. He's trying to take some fights, but it's not really perfect. And Relax is playing inside of the site. But only with the USP, it's going to be hard for him to find anything, and now that Krias has been pushed back, it is going to be hard for Relax to really do anything. Gets dropped. Krias finds a kill through the smoke, I believe. And now, Button, will he check this corner? Not properly. Gets dropped as well. With that, looks like yet another round for HellRaisers, who now only have Freddy Frog to find.
Yeah, just be trying to save onto his Deagle and Kevlar. And of course, his individual flashbang, but the T's are not done. They want this gun out of his hands. They're going to go hunting all the way through the spawn. Not finding anything as of yet. Bondic around the corner, and yeah, everything removed. The chance now for HellRaisers to make a fair bit of money going into the next. And I'm somewhat hoping we see like a stack or a gamble or something from Red Reserve, because they literally have nothing. Although they invested into a flashbang. There you go. A little bit of utility.
I mean, that's actually what I like to see, because a lot of these eco rounds are just throwaway rounds for a lot of teams. But buying that single flash just means you have a very slight chance of actually winning it, and I think it's nice. I'm hoping that they do something together. Looks like it's going to be a mid-stack where they're just going to peek with a flash, and that is not a bad call in my opinion. So we'll see how that works for them. Voxic with USP just charging up mid.
Let's see, can he do anything with it? Oh, he'll get 1. Actually a second as well. That's quite surprising, really. And well, Angel with the spray control will find the remainder. Lots of players surviving for HellRaisers, and I'll be intrigued to see if they go for a bit of a bonus round in this one. Of course, plenty of cash already built up, and Voxic may just go straight in with the AWP, yeah. They're pretty much why he was only with the USP in the last one. T-side are going to have no trouble buying into the next no matter what happens here. And because there was like a heftier force coming in from the CT side, not like what we saw previously in the last matchup, there are some limitations. There's no incendiaries, there's no kits, and for a few of the players, there's also no head armor.
Yeah, I mean, the head armor, it's always crazy when it comes into play in buy rounds. Because it is quite of a rare occurrence, but with 2 SMGs brought into this round from the T side, it's definitely not unlikely. And it looks like they are hanging on to the SMGs because they want to do an apps explode. And the flash is mistimed, the flash has even failed. None of the A players are blind, and one guy gets dropped because of it. Now a second, Pleasant with 2. And trying to stay alive, even gets the third and the fourth from Pleasant. Not quite the 5th as Voxic trades him, but still a more or less impossible clutch.
Left in a horrible scenario. Has his trusty AWP to play with and will be jumping into the site. Nice no-scope up close. Relaxer waiting round, and he actually misses the shot. That gives some information, plus the flash coming in. This should be everything Voxic needs to know where these remaining 2 players are. Smoke going to be going down. This will give him the chance to actually plant that bomb and may even opt to push a little bit round that arch side. Left into the site. And CT side have gathered up, and of course with an AWP, that means he needs to try and separate them, try and give himself that individual duel, unless he's going to be a little bit lucky and have them line up. Either way, this shouldn't be a scenario that even comes about. Misses what was a great opportunity and just trying to bait in some of the shots as they get on towards the site. Shot will be missed, hits the third, doesn't know how close the remainder is, and it is close from Voxic, from what was, as you said, no, an impossible scenario. But unfortunately, it isn't quite enough. Bomb will be defused.
And they've already tied themselves on the first map. In the first
round. Didn't you?
Yeah, of course. But yeah, it's nice. A nice try from Voxic. I mean, I was actually, I mean, it is only a thought I had later, right? So he played it really, really well. But if you had played it slightly, you know, more towards library on the box, I think it'd be even able to watch it from there. And that's a super strong afterplay position that I think could have potentially won in the round, but the way he played it definitely was not far from doing the trick either. Now instead, it's a bad buy from the CTs, who are now hanging on to one SMG, since they don't really have much of a choice. Before it was a choice by HellRaisers, but this time it's because there's no alternative.
Boost into the apartments from the CT side. A quick explosion out. Freddy Frog left completely blind. Anissa is going to net himself the opener. The 2 players in apps now looking to try and wrap around. But the fact is, they're almost set up for more of a retake scenario here, as the site is going to completely fall into the hands of the HellRaisers. Now, I feel like they should soon realize there's players up here. Pleasant will double back around, and the sneak coming through, it means Botton's able to get back into the site, but Issa is just leading the charge for HellRaisers, getting himself 3 kills already. Still going to be back into a 2 versus 2, and Botton still remains in this pit area. Strong position, but it's removed from DevFox and leaves just Relaxer left, an AWP in hand, and he has no idea even where the second player is. Has to try and find a fight, and the smoke holding him out means there's not much choice but to just try and save this AWP. It means an instant reset has come for the Red Reserve side, and HellRaisers will be back versus very little in the next round.
Nice try by Button, actually. Pleasant taking the attention away from apps by getting a kill from short. Allows him to jump down and kill Bondik, and then pick up a better gun and kill another. And had he won the duel versus DevFox, that's surely a round that goes in favor of Red Reserve. So a really nice try at a turnaround, but unfortunately not going to be happening this time around. I like, though, how Freddy Frog tried to, I wouldn't even say retake mid, but like battle for mid. I think that's actually super important. He used his Molotov on mid and then tried to fight the players coming out boiler. Unfortunately, he got a bit of an unlucky timing on the flash. But I think if Red Reserve wants to win some rounds here on the CT side, it seems like, you know, giving them map control for free like that is just not possible. Unfortunately, he didn't have a mate from short who could have helped him, because peeking out after the flash would have granted you probably 2 or 3 free kills. But unfortunately, you know, slight mistiming. Instead, it's going to be another Apps explode. And Pleasant with the first kill instantly changes the AK, but can't get anything from it. And Button and Relax are now stepping up massively. Dead Fox and Voxic looking to see if they can entry onto the site. Dead Fox gets the first. Relaxa also being tagged slightly as he takes down Voxic and now clears through the smoke. Does get taken down. Relaxa between a rock and a hard place, and
this is awful.
eventually
he can't win it. It's close, but it's not quite there. And an important bounce back from Red Reserve, at least. They needed that, because that was about to be a chance for the T-side to really run away with things.
Yeah, and I mean, I brought this up in the North game. I want to kind of bring it up again. Sometimes you can obviously make reads and make risky calls, right? But I just have to question whether or not it's a good decision to go in apps versus pistols. We see it again here. They try to do an apps explode, and it seemed like the flashes even failed again, like they did on the other round. And they lost because of it, it seemed. Instead, Dead Fox trying to open up and Voxic even attacking Freddy Frog, but a great flash evens out the players here.
It's a battle of the orb through the wall. Actually, Voxic does hit a second shot with the AWP. It's continuing to spam, but instead he is found through the smoke instead. Freddy Frog will close him down, but with the amount of players spotted on B, they know that there's a maximum of 2 here. Through the corner of the smoke, Pleasant's going to take a little bit of damage. Relax is still here, but he doesn't know a player's already crossed, and Issa is there to trade things back, but now he is left alone, completely blind, and Red Reserve with an important follow-up round. Both teams were up for being set down to rags, and that's exactly what's happened to HellRaisers now. They don't have the money to invest. The CTs will have a break from the bombardment, and they actually have a chance to now build back into this half.
Yeah, HellRaisers not a team that's shy of a risky force buy at times, but not going to be this time. Instead, it's only Issa investing in a single Desert Eagle. So he'll probably be the guy. Oh, they actually have 2 Dead Fox invested in one as well. But they'll be looking for some entry frags here with the 2 upgraded pistols. Angel also having one, but not an as powerful one. Good Molotov to just stop the T's approaching the site. Somehow, Issa finds a frag on Pleasant, and Boat now, and Freddy Frog need to see if they can stop the T's from getting any closer to the site.
Yeah, this round, all about damage, really, for HellRaisers, but they've now managed to find a second kill and actually have control of the site. That's a bomb plant at a minimum. Rifle picked up as well. Remaining 2 players still have Glocks, which definitely isn't ideal. Angel looking to peek out. The AK is going to fall into the hands of Bondic instead. Damage still being done, even with the Glock. Bondic has managed to find another one. This is already so costly, no matter what happens for the remainder of the round. This is a 2 versus 1 when all that was invested was sub 2,000, I believe. So now Bondic, I love this spot. Just taking it up close. They saw him in the pit. They may not expect him here. He finds the first. Spots Relaxer as well, but can't quite do it. It's very, very close and very, very costly. But still the round will go the way of Red Reserve. But that was worrying.
Yeah, it's, I mean, also a bit sad. I think Bondic, if he has a bit more trigger discipline there, he wins it. I mean, it's a really hard choice to make, of course. But it didn't look like the CTs were going to actually check the corner that he went to. He did a very good job at actually maneuvering himself over there. Another thing I found a bit weird is the bomb plan. It seemed like it was just inside the site, where you could have instead maybe planned it for pit, since they had so much control. But yeah, I mean, a super good round from HellRaisers nonetheless, and it does, I mean, get really scary for Red Reserve, but also now, if they lose, they will be broke.
An even scoreline for now, 4-4. AWP onto both sides. Voxic with his in hand, just waiting for any peek into middle, but the peek is not coming. It was an early setup towards the B site, but it's quickly turned into the more standard of the 2, the rotator of Relaxer just holding onto the arch side, which has been a point of contention for HellRaisers so far. CT side in more of a default, but the fact is they actually have nobody on the B side. I'm not a massive fan of this, because I just feel like a singular smoke sort of isolates you. However, with the play looking to go towards Arch once again, and Relaxer well positioned, we'll see if they actually throw a smoke to isolate him from this angle.
It looks like Issa might be setting it up here. But instead he gets found, and then Pleasant could have even had more. Pretty close, but no cigar this time. Angel dropped quite low, and the T's want to regroup towards the B side. It looks to be the correct decision right now, but I think the guy on B is boosted up. That is Freddy Frog. So even with the smoke, he might be able to actually get some kills.
They haven't got one.
No, I mean, there's still one up, but it's fading now. And that could spell trouble, I mean.
Oh, yeah, this is just a complete shutdown. The boost would have exploited it anyway, but the fact is they just don't have anything to actually allow this cross to come in. Somehow, actually, the bomb will get over towards the site. That's quite surprising. And the peek in, there's no defense. Bondik is unable to stop anything from happening. Bomb goes down at least, and he's left into a 1 versus, well, now 3, but surely this is impossible. Tries to take an aggressive peek, obviously not knowing where the remaining players are. And Red Reserve shut that one down fairly easily in the end.
Yeah, much more easily than the eco round they played, or the anti-eco they played before. But now, with the bomb plant, HellRaisers still have money to at least consider a buy. I think they would buy here, yeah. It does look to be the case. Angel the first one to do so. And the rest are going to follow suit. Haven't had as much luck on the B side as they have on have had on the A side.
No. Well, I think a lot of that comes down to just their initial push being shut down and wondering like if they'll be able to do too much, like switching over towards the other side.
Yeah, and Red Reserve even bringing 4 players to B at the beginning. Just to counter a rush, I guess. It's an interesting decision now instead, because there's no noise made on B. They just managed to rotate 4 players over onto A. And Relaxer, the sole defender. If he does not hit every single shot here, it could be round over.
Yeah, they gambled. The thing is, they don't have that much information, so to be playing such a gamble stack is very risky indeed. Rotation will be coming back from Pleasant. T's not really going for too much of a push just yet. And actually the CT side now removing their initial stack to head back towards B. And it seems like the T's somewhat unaware of where they're even going yet. Push coming in from Issa, looking to try and find something on the lurk, but there isn't really anything to be had. And now the T's, again, with very little information themselves, are going to go pushing straight in towards this site. Molotov will hold them off. There's a player on the boost, but left completely blind by the flash. And DevFox with the MAC-10's actually able to find the entry. Smoke is still down. Kree's looking to try and deny something here, but the fact is, DevFox will be able to get that bomb plant. It's just going to end up as a 5v4 retake from this CT side. They've already expended half of their utility, but they still have a couple of incendiaries left to try and clear out some of these remaining angles. The problem being, they're all coming from the same angle. There's nobody coming from the banana spot. So to get back into the site is going to be very difficult indeed. Nice shot from Freddy Frog, and actually he doubles down. He gives them an opener. Bondik tries to turn the tide and does great work doing so, but now it's left all onto Issa. They know exactly where he is, and Button will shut it down. 4v5 retake. Great job from Red Reserve to turn things back, and they are going to take themselves another round on the board.
I think someone, some admin needs to go and check Freddy Frog's mouse. That was completely disgusting, that first shot. Just a guy out in the middle of the open. He's not even aiming near him, and he just headshots him instantly. Really sick, and then follows it up with another, and the retake just comes in. It's really well played by Red Reserve. I also really want to say that it's like really good grenade usage. They use the smoke on Banana. They use the Molotov quad box. I think they might have even had a Molotov on Dark as well. And with that, you know, it's a really, really hard to stop retake, because you basically have no positioning in the inside of the site, and since they don't have ruins, the rest have to be Banana or Pool. And yeah, I mean, it just ended up going the way of Red Reserve this time around. But them being behind 3-0, I don't even think they won the pistol. I mean, they've already gotten way more rounds in the CT than North and Force did.
Well, yeah, no, it was actually, yeah, they won the first buyer and then instantly got reset and then managed to win straight back. So the fact that they're now 6-4 up after they are in a position where HellRaisers could have reset their economy down to nothing, winning with 1 AWP, I think it was an SMG and a few pistols. So that round was huge, and it's kick-started this Red Reserve side, who have now gone on to streak 5 rounds in a row. Their money still not built up. That has to be added in. and the bomb plant going down for HellRaisers means that they can continue to buy. The fact is, though, they have started to look a little bit flat on this T side. Bottom looking for some aggression, and actually he finds 3 kills, spraying down the majority of this Red Reserve roster, or sorry, this HellRaisers roster. Issa looks to try and turn the tide, but will only manage 1. At least there will be a retrieval of the bomb from DevFox, and they're going to be able to get onto the site, back into a 2 versus 3 retake scenario. And this time, there isn't actually much utility at all for this CT side. They have a singular HE. Now, the man advantage obviously plays into their hands. It's whether or not the individual fights do. The HE is going to go into the corner, does a little bit of extra damage onto DevFox, but Issa, again, from the graveyard, finds 1. DevFox looking to try and boost up above, spots another, and actually takes it back into an even scenario here at least. Kreese, the stand-in, to fight things back, and that's exactly what he does. Nets a 7th round for Red Reserve. Again, it's close, but again, it's red.
Yeah, super crazy round from Burton. I mean, that 3K spray down, it just really felt like he made no mistakes at all with his aim there. It's like instant lock on to the head. It was really, really sick. And exactly what Red Reserve needed. It seems like right now, they don't even have the advantage in any of the rounds. But they somehow managed to get back with like a 4 versus 5 retake now. This crazy round from Burton. And yeah, I mean, if I was HellRaisers, I'd also take a tactical pause. It's not like they're even making poor decisions or playing poorly. They're just losing to individuals stepping up on the Red Reserve side. And I mean, having played Red Reserve at Copenhagen Games, of course, they got 11 T rounds versus us, and we ended up winning 16-4. And here, they already have 7 CT rounds. So it's a really good CT side from Red Reserve, even to their standards. But, I mean, you have to also be a bit worried with how we saw them on T side in the first match, or the first map, and how they will fare here on the T side on Inferno. But hopefully these CT rounds are enough to put it to a 3rd map.
Yeah, of course, after the first, it's sort of like the first map we saw in the previous series. We were writing off Red Reserve, we were writing off 4s as well. Or maybe the second map is just where the underdog seems to rise. Again, the Ts are going to have themselves another bye. Again, they bring it very, very close in the previous round, down to just the 1 versus 1 again. By the looks of things, they're just waiting for that break.
Relaxer getting very aggressive here. He might even find one. He legs up one and tags the other. No, he did not tag the other, but Toxic, kind enough to finish the job. Takes down Angel, and now it's back into a 4 versus 4 situation where it looks like it could be the A bomb site. Issa looking to throw the B split smoke, and oh, someone else does it. It's nice of him. I was just about to say a good Molotov, but unfortunately it's missed, and now instead they're going to be coming towards B. Freddy Frog still has a Molotov, so maybe playing a bit of a dangerous game, playing so close on a smoke. But he will be using it as soon as it clears, I'm sure. With 20 seconds only, this Molotov could be doing all the damage. Another nice flash to follow up.
Issa wrapping round the back could be the linchpin in this move, and he's caught, but the fact is Kreese still loses that battle, and it's just going to be a quick trade on the site. They'll get the bomb down with literal seconds to spare and catch off anybody trying to do some damage. Bottom, well, he managed a triple spray down just moments ago. The question is, can he now pull off the triple clutch? He doesn't have much, and hopes that somebody's going to peek into the angle. That's the big thing. He needs someone to make a mistake to have any real chance in this round. Has a kit, but now down to just 15 seconds to play with, and while Bondik is going to take his head off. HellRaisers are straight back onto the board after what was quite a long streak. I think it was 6 rounds in a row for the CTs. The thing I really want to look at is, can the CTs even buy? Because after 6 rounds in a row, normally you'd be looking at it going, yeah, they'll have loads of money. I'm pretty sure they're going to be stuck with pistols and SMGs.
Yeah, it's not a bad shout. I think, I mean, every round has been so super close that it might be the case. I'm kind of sad. Yeah, we see the pistols being brought out here, but I'm kind of sad. You know, it's a 4 versus 4 situation. Freddy Frog even has that key Molotov to put down at 20 seconds, and then the CTs end up playing it split. I mean, if the guy wins the duel on Issa, they win.
Yeah.
But imagine if they just stack up together. Good flash comes in. Relaxer with one. does not get the second. Instead, it's Angel who actually somehow finds Krias as well. I'm not even sure. He must have been pushing with him. So now it's just Freddy Frog here on B. Up close and personal.
I think especially when you look at how little time there was, like, realistically, could he have bought a second? That's all we're really looking at. I think the bomb was planted on 5, so what, a second or 2?
Yeah.
That's all that was needed, and then it didn't matter where the other player was on the site. Like, Botten could have been anywhere on the map as long as he's not on B. Ooh, nice shot from Plessen.
Could he find more?
Yes,
there is a possibility of it, yeah.
Ooh, no. Never mind. And that's pretty much round done. Freddy Frog will just look to try and retrieve a weapon somewhere on the map. I'm sure there's a couple of players dropped, so should be possible. One of them was, of course, on the A site itself, so that isn't going to be happening. But can he at least get some sort of weaponry? A 6th round will be on the board for HellRaisers, and this is sort of what the scariest thing is. Those rounds are so close that this is now going to be what has been a Force 5 pistol round, and then next to nothing in the next. It will just be whatever Freddy Frog saves, plus probably USP.
Yeah, it's true. But getting back to the previous round, I mean, you're 4 versus 4, not a lot of time left, right? You use a really, really good Molotov. If the 2 CT players, they either commit to shutting down the players coming from Banana, or they commit to shutting down the player coming from CT, then let's say at best, they shut down the guy coming from CT, for example. And you have a 4 versus 3 retake. Worst, you probably get the trade. It's a 3 versus 3 retake, but the T's are under huge pressure because of the bomb timer. And alternatively, you battle after the Molotov with one guy coils, for example, and the other guy first box. One guy can just play the contact of the other, and you should at least be getting a few kills and probably taking some seconds off the clock.
Yeah.
I mean, if he wins the fight versus Issa, it's likely a 1 round anyway. But yeah, I think it in such a situation, it could have also been a possibility that you played it together and had a better chance of actually foiling the plans of the T's.
Plessen gets away with that. Only 4 HP. Flash comes in, and now that AK has been found, still going to be a man advantage, at least for now, but of course there's 2 players completely nude. Well, I suppose technically Plessen's wearing nothing but a belt that hangs a CZ off of it.
A really big kill from Bondik. Opens up the round completely, gets a second. A side is open, is ripe for the taken. And Freddy Frog needs to come up clutch, gets the first, even has a Molotov for the bomb, but decides not to use it.
This is getting a little bit too close for comfort now for the T's. They're going to be able to retrieve it, but in the meantime, they don't realize they've actually lost the sight and Relaxer. He can just be a decoy. Instead, Bondik actually manages to snap onto the head, but all it needs to be is a bullet or 2 connected from this USP. Relaxer goes pushing. Now all he needs is 1 to take this down. He's onto just 10 HP. Both players incredibly low. It will just take 1 bullet, and Bondik just about saves it. But that, again, is a round that is way too close for comfort.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. Super good decision by the Red Reserve brothers to go through the smoke there. Catches the HellRaisers players totally off guard. Actually, a pretty lucky timing that Bondik spots Relaxer going behind the pillar, and then in the meantime, Freddy Frog is moving in from behind.
I want to see the shot that Bondik did onto Freddy, because it was shooting at the player at pillar and then just snaps and then flicks back. Really? Like, he kills, he doesn't kill the man on pillar first. He kills Freddy, who's on the other side. So he must have, like, just snapped onto him. Because I barely even saw it. So I reckon that was either, from that perspective, just looked disgusting, or was absolute filth. And Freddy is just sat there like, what the hell?
Maybe they're just discussing how filthy that shot was in technical pose. But, I mean, I'm not quite sure. Oh, we get to see it again here, maybe.
No, these are the first couple.
Yeah, we didn't get to see that first one originally. Not even this one from Bondik's point of view. But
there's this. Yeah, just snaps and then
pretty dirty. But I mean, surely Freddy Frog knows that Bondik is low, right? Would you want to battle him in a headshot angle there? I don't know. I guess with the USP, it does kind of make sense. I just think maybe Relaxer was a bit too scared to take a fight there, and then ended up getting him headshot through a box, and then all of a sudden he lost the advantage in the fight, which was the HP, you know. Good grenade. Does a lot of damage onto the 2 players. Did the smoke just go through that guy's back?
Magic.
Yeah. Okay.
So is that. Angel has just caught another, and Relaxer already low on HP. Blessing trying to make a play in the meantime, but it is just going to be trades galore. And by the looks of things, even after the streak of rounds, the half is going to head its way to HellRaisers. What were they, 6-4 down, 7-4 down?
Yeah, 7-4, I think, because they won the pistol and then got, like, they reset them.
Yeah. So they already had 4. Yeah, so 7-4 down, and then a few streak towards the end. HellRaisers are going to close the half 8-7. A fairly simplistic final round. And now we get to see whether or not there is going to be much of a T side from this one. Now, of course, I do definitely feel like if you can limit the economy of HellRaisers, you can get yourselves rolling. I do think the Red Reserve definitely have the talent to sort of take this one over the line. The problem is what we saw in Overpass. I think that's just what sticks in my mind of that there needs to be somebody calling the shots for them.
Yeah, but I think a map like Inferno is just so much better for mixes, you know. It seems like the players that I'd at least be looking to step up, Freddy Frog, and in some cases also, you know, Burton, I think he probably has the best aim on the team, to be honest. They both stepped up, and I think they've got a decent chance of actually winning this. I mean, Voxic with 13 kills, but from what I remember, it's not really... I mean, he had that one clutch that he almost won, and besides that, it's not really been the most high impact frags or like first kills or something. I'm not saying he only killed you know, ecos or something like that, but if you compare it with how much impact he had in the first game, this has been nothing close to it. So, I mean, when Voxic is not you know, absolutely going off, I think it's harder for HellRaisers to win, of course. And
But do you think that's down to him not yet being on the CT side? Because I do feel like, especially for an AWPer, the CT side is going to be his playground a little bit more.
It definitely could be. But it's nice that we are seeing some of the other players step up as well.
Oh, look, there's a stack of players waiting for this push to come in, but a rush up Banana and the Glock reigns supreme. Dead Fox, all the remains, catches one in the air. Actually, Voxic finds another. They've somehow turned this back into a doable position. Voxic in pistol rounds has been deadly so far. We'll see if he is still reigning supreme. We saw in the previous map both ended up being won by him. Can he do it once again? Doesn't have a kit, does have a smoke. Freddy Frog in the corner will just be waiting. His teammate's so low on HP that he has to be the one to make some sort of play here if he is going to be peeking. Now, Voxic doesn't actually have any idea where the remaining players are, but I think he may have found the info and a kit as well. So he's bought himself an extra few seconds. Peek back in, but can't connect the shot. And he's been given opportunities now. This is where the clock plays against him, but he finds the quick kill. Just needs to hit one more bullet and gets the headshot as well. Voxic in pistol rounds, ladies and gentlemen. That will be a 9th round, and he looks cool as a cucumber. Didn't even break a sweat.
That last shot was so insane. You can really see the, like, 200 million sensitivity come into play because, I mean, I would have instantly...
Would you have to go a few times on your mouse mat to get that one?
Probably, or at least I would have, you know, like thrown my arm out of socket or something like that. That's the only way. That's a really crazy shot and a crazy round to win. And I talked about this, you know, that T-side usually wins the pistol round. In this case, they get 3 opening frags, and in the 2 versus 5, they still manage to lose it. But, I mean, respect also for Dead Fox for hitting a shot on the jumping guy. That was also pretty insane. That's what started it, even. He even got the follow-up as well. So.
Well, that's the thing. That there should have been no way they won that round. After the 3 early kills, there should have been absolutely no hope. This one, much more of an open and shut case. It's a save waiting to buy the AKs into the next. It will mean that HellRaisers are very, very likely to hit themselves a 10th round. And, well, Angel is just padding his stats at the moment, boosting himself up. I like the idea from Kreese. He's actually just thrown his only weapon as a fake flash. I imagine he was probably picking up the deagle, but that's what it looks like at least. Just like, fake flash with the Glock. I'm going to peek with my knife. But yeah, nothing found. A flawless round from HellRaisers. But this is why. This is where the AKs come into play. A decent amount of utility as well. Smokes on every single player. And although the utility is killer for HellRaisers, they still have some limitations in the weaponry.
Yeah, it's true. But we saw that on the first buy round of the first half as well. And that... they ended up actually losing that, but playing with only SMGs usually means that it's somewhat of a free round, so you can lose it and you still have a buy in the next, and I think that's definitely what they're hoping for here. But looking at it, an MP9, UMP, 2 farmers, and a single M4, it's definitely not ideal. But we've seen them win with less, so I wouldn't discount them just yet. Pleasant finds the opening on Voxic, he even finds the second onto Issa, and now it's all left to Angel on this site. Hit some 6 shots less around, but this time doesn't even get the chance to. And in the meantime,
DevFox has the bomb.
Yeah, he even has the bomb, that's true. Oh, and he will get in front of this smoke as well.
Oh, he's got a great position around this, trying to boost up. I wonder if he'll just fall back into Mexico, because it's such a powerful position to try and hold on to. It's more the fact that they're so focused that, I was going to say, from behind, Bondic could have done everything that was needed, but instead, now things become very difficult for DevFox indeed, and he'll even go a little bit aggressive and try and find something out. It will be 10-8, and it came a little bit closer than it probably should have done. But now this is the problem, because there was that early buy with the AK-47s, the buy that will come back in from HellRaisers, if they do go for it, which I imagine they probably will, won't be that much better. Like, they'll have a few more rifles, but they'll still be Issa with next to nothing.
Yeah. I think actually in this round it would have made sense to save. Red Reserve was still 3 guys alive, if I'm not mistaken, and it's not like... I think you can buy up in this round if there are maybe 1 or maybe 2, but I think 3 is a bit too many. I would rather see them take an early eco and then get a lot of money, and then hopefully you know, have more grenades and better weaponry in the next. And by better, I mean better than Red Reserves, so that you actually have an advantage in the buy round. Instead, you're giving yourself a buy round here where you have a pretty huge disadvantage, at least in terms of utility, and then the next you're going to have to eco. So I think getting a really good buy round is better, but maybe they just want to break the momentum here early on. It's just hard playing with low utility against a team like Red Reserve on Inferno, because they are very methodical, but they also are very explosive when they go for sites, and if you don't have the Molotovs or the smokes to block them off, then it's usually pretty hard to stop them.
Yeah, we are going to have CT side and somewhat of a standard hold as well, and their utility is already starting to run dry. They have 1 more smoke left. Over towards this B side of the map. DevFox does have an incendiary as well, so you can buy a little bit of extra time, but the fact is, even with everything that they've thrown, there'll still be about 20 seconds left on the clock for the T's to make their execute with nothing but raw aim left in return. On the other side of the map, we do have Botan actually looking to try and just clear out some of these angles, hold some rotations back, but the fact is, DevFox and Bondic are going to have to do something ludicrous if they're going to hold on to this round, and already 1 will fall, and as you said in the previous map, a bit of a one-and-done spot, and in fact, Botan, he was supposed to just be the fake. Instead, he's taken down 3 players. He catches all of them, doesn't allow for anything from HellRaisers, and removes every penny they have.
Botan is really one of the biggest talents in the world in terms of just raw aiming. He feels like he never misses a shot, and it doesn't matter if it's AK, Deagle, or whatever it is. He's just really, really insane, and he's really been showing it this match as well. But now it comes into play what I talked about. They forced up, and now they didn't even... I think they only took down 1 Red Reserve player, so it's not like Red Reserve are low on money. Botan, for example, has 6k, and now they have the eco. Instead, you could have ecoed before and gotten a better buy, which... I mean, I'm not saying it's necessarily better, but... I think looking at the broader perspective, I think it's it would have been the better decision. Instead, now Krias will just open up onto DevFox with the SMG, get some nice cash, and at this point, I think you could even drop the SMG to someone else, let him farm some cash, just to build up a big bank here at the beginning, because as soon as HellRaisers get back into it with some buys, you're going to need that extra money that you have had the potential of grabbing from early on. Voxic on a mission here. You might just catch one from behind.
Yeah, long way around. He may even find the bomb. I don't know how he'll defend it.
He's got a Zeus. if he Zeus's this guy, and then picks up an AK and one-clicks everyone.
Good luck Zeusing him when he's just gone. Freddy Frog even has the turnaround, and Okay, Woxic does a little bit. I love the fact that he was like, okay, I'll wait here. I'll Zeus in. Where's the bomb go? Ah, it just like ran off with it. Didn't even think that there'd be anybody there. Angel's got a Mach 10, a chance to at least farm up a little bit of cash and maybe net an AWP for his teammate. Woxic looking to try and tap away, and Angel will round the corner and meet his doom. Nice cleanup from Red Reserve. They build up some cash. And HellRaisers, I wonder if they're actually going to have an AWP. I think it might just be flat rifles, unless Woxic saved a large amount of cash that I didn't witness, but I don't think he has.
No, I don't know. I mean, he only bought a Zeus. They're actually going to half-buy into this. I think that's a good decision at this point. Get the money rolling, and then you can, you know, start buying fully. It must shock, though, to be Woxic and push through EPs and then somehow get around all the Ts, and then they go to the bomb site that you were originally playing. I mean, if they go B, it's just, you know, unlucky timing. If they go A, it's just like even worse.
Let's see what HellRaisers can do with the pistols. They've actually invested a fair bit into utility, which I quite like, especially with how powerful the CZs actually are. It's not even that much of a detriment, and already Issa, with the early aggression, will take himself the early fight. Hasn't yet gone hunting for the gun, and in fact, isn't going to. Doesn't want to risk giving away this man advantage.
But I have to ask once again, I did it on the other Inferno. Is it really smart to go up against the CZs in apps when you have 5 AKs? I mean, I guess they misread the economy or didn't expect them to half-buy, and that's why he did it. But it's just, I feel like we're seeing so many guns being lost up in those apartments to CZs and pistols in general, when it really should not happen, in my opinion. You don't want to take the close-range fights against the CZs. They're going to do it once again, yeah.
Oh, Angel looking like he had the chance for 2, but he will only be able to get 1. And now wrapping around onto the arch, this is where the range game of those rifles will come into play. And Issa wishing he picked up that AK, maybe not. He finds the battle anyway. The CZ has no weaknesses. Woxic looks to come back into the site. DevFox will retrieve an AK-47, and this is looking bleak. Maybe they won't need all that extra economy after all, as all that's left. Freddy Frog stuck in the corner, and DevFox will steal a round away. 11 to 10. It's how does he win that battle at range? That gun is stupid.
I was just about to say, I mean, I really hope Valve are watching. I think it's about time we get this gun nerfed, because I don't know, we see so many force buy wins. It's crazy. Those pistols, they are... I'm probably the guy that plays CZ the most out of all, and I am wishing for it to be overpowered. I mean, to be nerfed, because
to be overpowered.
Yeah, yeah. Also,
can you like make it better, please?
Yeah. No, but I mean, I love the CZ. I play it any chance I get, pretty much. But it should. I really feel like it's so overpowered at this point that it's just stupid.
Well, that's happened a lot with players in the past, though. It's like MBK, one of the guys who always used to play Jump Scout, was very open and said, oh, I think it should be nerfed. It's stupid. But if you put it in the game, I'm not going to be the one going, I refuse to use this Jump Scout because I am better than... No, do what you have to win. The gun's stupid. Use the stupid gun. It's like when the R8 was getting triple kills. No one was going, no, I will not do that. Like, everybody was like, I'm going to buy it and kill someone with an AWP down mid. Like, that's the aim of the game, to win.
I remember when the AUG... There was like a 1 week where the AUG was just the best weapon in the game. And everyone just made gentleman agreements that you wouldn't play it in competitive play because it was too good. Those were the days. Those days are gone. Yeah. Pleasant in a really good position here, though. Perfect flash. Gets DevFox not even just 1, but 2 tasty and crispy kills here. Krias and Pleasant dropped. And really good spray control from DevFox. Just all in all, smart, solid play. Gets boosted up with the low HP, liking that as well.
I would call this the bad sign buy. If you see 4 AK-47s and an AWP on the CT side, something's gone wrong. It's definitely not what you want to be seeing from HellRaisers. Of course, only having pistols in the last round, managing to steal so many away. And yeah, already a 2-man advantage. I wonder if there's going to be a turning point here for Red Reserve, because they need to break back, and they need to break back soon, because this is the point where HellRaisers literally have everything they need. They have AKs on the CT side and utility and an AWP. Like, you can't get better than this. Relaxer.
Oh.
Waits for the timing, and he hits the shot onto Bondic as well. Defrox is actually the only man here. He has 2 HP. And we may be about to see a turnaround, but they don't check such a common spot. They'll get the trade eventually. Relaxer with the AWP through the smoke. Impressive stuff, but that was a chance to even things up. Instead, they're playing with a man disadvantage into this retake. Angel peeks, and actually no chance for a trade there. Hands the frag away and gives an opportunity to this T-side to drag things back. Remember, just moments ago, we were looking at a 2-man advantage in favor of HellRaisers. Now, things have evened up, and they have to try and get back into the site. The flashbang forces off the angle. Relaxer gets his 4th kill of the round. It's down to just Issa to stop this man, and even hits him through the coffins as well. His AWP shots just aren't missing at the moment, and he's going to go wrapping around. Takes a new position onto the bomb, but Issa will win it anyway. It's such a good round coming out from Relaxer, but unfortunately, it isn't quite enough.
You know what sucks? When you do 470-ish damage in a round and you still lose. I mean, and that's just only counting the damage that, you know, actually damages the HP of a player, because even on Bondic, he hit the headshot with the AWP, and that in itself is around those lines. Really well played by Red Reserve. I like how they flashed the coils guy away, and then he just sits and holds an angle waiting for him to peek. It's actually super smart and not something a lot of teams do. So I will definitely be stealing that. Thanks, Relaxer. Then also hits the last guy through the coils, and unfortunately can't make it work. Freddy Frog and Angel, though, trading. Get 1 apiece. And now Angel also dropping when he's trying to regain control of the AWP. With Issa playing with fire up here in Abs. This could mean that Red Reserve has a good chance at this round. Krias patiently waits, gets rewarded for it. And now, since HellRaisers were only 1 guy alive last round, this is really expensive.
Yeah, well, that was just reactive play in the end from HellRaisers. All the way through that round, it was let's basically just try and keep taking these fights. And, okay, well, now I'll get us back into the round. Now I'll get us back into the round. And they basically just went, okay, everybody's dead now. No one's got us back into the round. And they're left in actually a pretty interesting scenario. They've got a couple of players around the 2,500 mark, 1 guy with like 6K. So the question is, are they forcing or are they saving? I think realistically, they should save.
I agree.
But at the same time, we've already seen some sort of lower buys. I think in this scenario, just drop a few pistols and wait.
I completely agree, Tom. I think there was 1 guy with 5,800.
Yeah.
I think that guy could buy some CZs, maybe P250s for the entirety of the team. And there was another guy with 4K. I think he should just like do a full save. Then they can have double AWP if that's what they want in next. And the rest of the guys can get rifles or UMPs with utility. I think that's the best way to go about this, especially because utility on the CT side of Inferno is probably the most important thing. And it does look like that it is exactly what's going to be happening. Liking the decision of them buying smokes in the eco round, because on Inferno, even in the eco rounds, the T's almost always play default at the beginning, and if you have a few smokes saved, when they actually try to take the site, if you can smoke them off, I mean, your pistols are as good as a rifle.
Yeah, we are actually going to have quite a bit more money saved than I expected. Like, not even really dropping any pistols. They're saving everything that they can, so there'll be a decent amount of money coming back into the next round. T-side are going to be pushing up Banana. They've got that smoke ready and waiting. Although the aggression coming out from Issa may actually opt them to change their mind. Angel is going to re-aggress and try and take a similar battle. Retrieves a slight upgrade in terms of pistol, but ultimately he's still alone over towards this A side of the map, and Red Reserve look like they're about to set up and execute onto that very site.
Bit of a shame, actually, that Issa goes down. It looks like they have a really good setup on B with 2 smokes. And so even if they came B, they would be able to destroy them. So Issa dying on A looks to be what makes Red Reserve choose the A bomb site. And now Freddy Frog getting the kill onto Angel as well. Looks like they will just be contacting into A. But I'm liking the double smoke setup on B. Unfortunately, it's not going to come into play in this round. But, I mean, worst case scenario, you save 2 smokes, or they will probably actually go to die here. That's even better, so the T's don't get the extra money for the bomb exploding.
Yeah, CT side If they can save a weapon here, probably be the best case scenario, but by the looks of things, well, Bondic might just be happy to hold on to the smoke. There are a couple of players who are actually fairly low on cash, so even an extra smoke or two could be something.
Yeah, but the problem is if you let the bomb explode, every single terrorist player gets $350 extra. And at this point, I don't think you want to give Red Reserve extra money, so preferably for Dead Fox, it dies before the bomb explodes, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, saving 2 smokes with a grand total of $600 in value, I would not prefer over, you know, making sure my opponents don't get 350 extra apiece, you know, so I think it's a good decision by them. Hopefully we're going to be seeing another buy round here, and yeah, I mean, we for sure should. Voxic is back on his battle-tested AWP, and the rest on rifles. Decent utility as well, at least on the B players, and that's probably the most important side, to have a lot of grenades, so it's nice to see.
Smoke with a little bit of a peek enabled, but they double nade into the angle where the peek would be possible. I like it. Lots of damage done onto Freddy Frog. Now he's going to be left on just 12 HP for the rest of this round. Well, of course, unless he's shot. Pop Flash forces Dead Fox off the angle, but he's looking like he wants to go back for a little bit more. Relaxer will be on the other side with an AWP, and in fact, Dead Fox looks like he's about to be forced out of the angle. No, the Molotov goes a little bit deeper. He will be here with the flash. Smoke goes down from his teammate, allowing him to at least peek back in and potentially just to fall back instead. Not so much aggression on the other side of the map from the CT side. Voxic is going to be onto the arch side, but with 45 seconds left on the clock, again, we're seeing limitations to the utility. And now, well, Relaxer holding the angle, but Dead Fox, again, he seems so good in these aggressive positions. This time will fall, and there is going to be a quick rotation coming out from Voxic. 30 seconds left on the clock as the CT smoke will be set up. And this really does come down to what can be done on the A site, in fact, because that's where the push is coming in. There's still 2 players here. They've got to deal with a man in pit, and with the clock being so low, that's going to be very difficult indeed. Issa isn't actually going to be forced out. Instead, the Molotov misses, and he's able to peek. It's left onto just Kreese to try and save this for his team, but Issa, well, that mistake is enough to give him so much space.
Do you think Freddy Frog and Relax have ever went to a LAN event and just, like, changed accounts? I mean, no one can really tell the difference.
Just halfway through a map, just change chairs.
Yeah, or
and
like
then every time he looks at the scoreboard, it's like, I'm doing really well now. And then
yeah, I mean, that would honestly be possible with how alike they look.
I actually, so at school, I actually had 2 twins in, like, so there was 2 classes per year in my primary school, and multiple times they would switch classes just for a day, just to have to, like, talk to other people and have fun. And because I'd been to, like, nursery school with them, I could tell the difference. So I would always just look at them like, you all right? Yeah, having fun? Switching classes. It was great, though. It was very funny. I wonder, even like just in normal situations, just like if somebody thinks they know, if you just lie. Just, oh, you're right? No, that's not me.
Okay, that's actually next level. I'm thinking, isn't there like a woman that once had like, what's it even called when there's like, she gives birth to 7 children at the same time?
I want to say like septuplets, but I don't know if that's even a word.
I don't know either, but imagine that. And then you go to, like, one guy specializes in English, one guy in maths, one guy, probably one of them is
basically, you start a business.
Yeah, and then, no, you just you know, take the exams for each other. Then you only need to get good in one field, and you can instantly get all of the best.
Surely your exams are at the same time, so unless one of them's just filling in 7 papers.
See, that's the problem. Okay, I can now see why this has not been done yet. That's the only thing. Maybe go to different schools. I don't know, man. Okay, let's focus on the game, Tom. You are talking about all these things that have nothing to do with Counter-Strike. Yeah, what are you doing, Tom? Okay, no. Red Reserve, top banana control. And it looks like Dead Fox there with the AWP. This flash should be great for his angle. And Krias with proper timing. Oh. Proper timing was there, but unfortunately couldn't quite grab frag. Now Bondic going to be smoked out, going to be playing in front of the smoke. And cannot even find one Krias with a crazy double entry there. And a relaxer over the smoke, I think, from the first box finds Voxic. And honestly, I mean, at this point, you obviously have to save, but at the same time, you really want the AWP because Voxic went down. And going into 13-13, if you don't save this AWP, and with this deep smoke, it might not even be possible. If you don't, okay, the AWP is actually right there. If Pleasant gets that kill, they will be completely broke next round, going into 13-13. But instead, goes down. Issa, wise enough to know that something is lurking in the shadows, and that something is Pleasant. I mean, it seems like actually Pleasant are like he's doing a really good job at lurking right now, but it seems like I'm not quite sure if it's the timings that are slightly off or what, but he's getting a lot of ground, but he's just not really making any of his lurks work, right? He's not getting any kills over it because his team wins the round on the one side, and then even though he comes from behind, he can't really manage anything.
What do you do here as a CT side? Well, they're going to force it, but this is getting very, very close indeed. And Red Reserve in with a very good shot of taking this over to a third map. A heroic round needed from HellRaisers. Voxic looking to go for something aggressive to peek out, but he's met with a Molotov and, in fact, has to fall back very early on. You've got the CZ of Angel just trying to play up close around this smoke, and in the meantime, Issa will be waiting over towards that apartments area. Rotation will come in from Voxic, but they're clearly aware of the potential of these close-range angles as Angel is already going to be cleared.
They're actually doing a good job at hanging onto the utility. They still have 4 smokes on the T side and 2 Molotovs. So if Voxic cannot get an opening here, I think it would be really, really hard for HellRaisers to win out this round. He is definitely going to be the guy here who needs to be the difference maker. And it looks like he is going to be wrapping around to Arch with a smoke coming in sometime soon, I would assume. This is actually a weird round. There's not much time left. There's still 4 on A, but now they are making the decision to go to B, and Burton with that kill could be the one that wins the round pretty much, as now the rotations will come in later than first anticipated. But it will be Voxic who's actually going towards the B bomb site.
Yeah, the AWP going to be positioned. He's going to have to do something pretty big indeed. Catches the first. 20 seconds left on the clock as the push comes back in. Deadfox, that's actually going to slow them down quite a bit. And he goes in for more. The AWP still sat at the back of the site. It's down to Voxic to save this for his team. And both players fairly low on HP. If he drops the bomb, this round is over. Here's the push and he hits the shot. Round done. HellRaisers are going to steal this one away. And it's the AWP of Voxic to do it. A crunch time, as we said. This could have been the reset that sent Red Reserve packing. Instead, HellRaisers are going to live to fight another day.
Yeah, what a crazy performance. I think Red Reserve kind of overthought it there. I think it's kind of easy to say or whatever, but I think if they had their normal IGL, something like that would not be happening, because they usually are really good at, you know, gauging what's possible and what's not possible, and they are really good at finding the right tempo, especially versus pistols. It's usually not that hard on Inferno. I mean, in this case, they had an AWP, right? But it seemed like they wanted to go A, then they wanted to go B, then they wanted to go A. And I think what actually ended up losing them the round was the fact that even though I think they took top banana control at the beginning, Deadfox retook it solo and smoked off top banana. And that's why it went down to 20 seconds. And Voxic assumed that they would retake it late. And because of that, he went B and just stacked it. And yeah, that ended up being the difference maker.
14-13. The T's will still have themselves another bye. And HellRaisers definitely aren't out of the woods just yet. They've got a lot left to do if they are going to be closing this first map and this first series for them. Of course, best of 3 if they lose this map. There will still be one more for Red Reserve to try and take this over the line, but they need this one first. Aggressive push down, and actually smoke seemingly a little bit delayed means the Bondic will go down before it blooms and is left in the open. Spray looking to try and find something back, but no damage has been done. And in the meantime, there's actually a few aggressive players in the apartments looking to try and split towards this A site. You've got to watch out for Issa. He's facing the wrong way, not knowing that there are players about to burst out of these apartments. Switches his gaze, but actually they don't spot him. He's only able to get one, however. And already Woxic looks to just fall back out of this site. It may just have to be a save here from the HellRaisers side, but by the looks of things, he's waiting for the rest of his team. They're going to go barreling straight back into this one, but already Freddy Frog, well positioned, finds one. It's going to be a quick trade, but DevFox just doesn't have the HP to hold on to this. And by the looks of things, HellRaisers are going to be left in a detrimental position once again as we hit 14-14.
So let's see if they'll be able to handle the pretty much exact same scenario that they had before better this second time around. We can only hope that Red Reserve have learned from the bad experience and that they now know better how to play around the AWP, because, I mean, I think it's pretty much the same as before, where they saved an AWP, they saved an M4, and the rest bought pistols, and they somehow managed to win it. But before it wasn't DeadFox on the rifle, because he was the guy.
I think even last time they dropped. I think it was Issa with an AK. And the AWP was dropped over to Woxic for whoever saved it anyway. So
sounds about right.
Same as last time. They're just going to have to. I think there was a couple of one of the players had a 2000, so that'll be something a little bit extra going into this round. But it's still not going to be a goodbye at all. And in fact, it's not an identical. DevFox still going for all that extra utility, which worked so well in the previous round. And already we have had the cross come in. Woxic. This fight hasn't been going too well for him so far, and actually Angel's able to sneak down middle, already take that early duel, but he's met with a swift return, and that's one of the rifles gone from HellRaisers already.
But at least an opening. I mean, I think most teams would trade an opening for the rifle. A 4 versus 4 situation might be easier to play with when you have low utility and low weapons. Oof, if Issa gets that kill, that's surely something that really changes the tide in this round. But Woxic, this time on A instead of B, where we saw him before in the same type of scenario. And Red Reserve, this time again, they don't have top banana, but it seems like it won't be as big of an issue. They're doing the wise thing of dropping the AWP to the low HP player. And with
Thank you, Bogdan.
Yeah, Bogdan is MVP Bogdan. DeadFox still has another smoke. How did he pick that up? Or was it Bondik that threw the first? And then a good Molotov as well.
Oh, this is going to buy so much extra time as well. And it may
even have another smoke, but now they're going to a...
switch the decision. And Woxic, he's got the complete wrong read here. Just going to go backing towards the B side. I think they've now realized, but it's too little too late. The bomb will make its way on towards the site. I don't think there's anything the Woxic can do. He's completely missed the timing. And, well, realistically, again, they're just going to have to try and hold on to what they've got. There's no way that they're getting back into this site. Red Reserve, they are going to be hitting their 15th round on this map of Inferno. They are 1 round away from taking us to a 3rd map. Definitely didn't expect to see this after the first map performance.
No, for those who missed it, I mean, there were probably a lot of people. It was a quite fast map, some would say. It ended up with HellRaisers taking it 16-1. Now we even get some help here from the observer, showing us the last few rounds. It's been back and forth. Bondik going to be getting a kill. And that's actually pretty nice. Oh, that was even the AWP drop. If he gets that kill as well, the AWP might not have been saved. And they could have afforded another one, but still, it would not have been the best of situations. Woxic back on the AWP for sure. I think that round is a bit sad though. Like, his teammates have another smoke. They have 2 CZs. And it's obviously easy to say because I can see what's going on the minimap, but he would be late on the rotation anyway. At that point, you know, you should just stay at A maybe. And that would have perhaps given them a better chance, but stuff like that is always really, really hard. It's something I also struggle a lot with. Because sometimes you would rather just gamble stack and hope that you and your teammates can win it together than having to be a solo AWP. But unfortunately, the wrong read from Woxic in this particular situation, even though he's been phenomenal this best of 3 series so far. We'll see if he can continue the good form. Dead Fox not having a smoke, and only Botnik having one here is also a bit of an issue. They only have one grenade left, and Red Reserve using their their usual B control standard, B default, but they're even faking it, and it's pretty obvious that they are faking it for Dead Fox, who is in front of all the grenades.
Ooh, but that could be a problem because I think the counter read has come in. Dead Fox needs to be very careful here. He just about gets away with that one. Has the AWP as well and finds one through the smoke. Looking back for more and gets it as well. Third kill for Dead Fox, exactly when they needed him to step up. And Botten, buddy, I think you may be heading to OTs into a 1 versus 5. 25 seconds left on the clock. The rotation coming back from the CTs, and Dead Fox shuts it down. What a round from him. How does he get away with that?
I think from watching this series, maybe the stats don't always show that Dead Fox is a really, impactful player. I'm not even sure that the stats would show it from this best of 3, but on Overpass, he had some really solid rounds at the beginning, and this is a perfect example. I mean, he likes to apparently play with rifles up in these very aggressive positions where normally you take one flash to the face, take one Molotov, and you're dead. But instead, here, he plays in front of the first Molotov, gets in front of the second, gets a free kill, pushes down, picks up the AWP, and also another smoke that he can then use to smoke off bottom of Banana, and just, I mean, he's such a nuisance. And because Red Reserve are not hanging on to the top Banana control, which is something that's definitely not easy, especially because, I mean, even when they take it, it seems whenever they want to group up on A, he instantly retakes it. He's got like a perfect read on when to push and when to fall back. So I think, he's doing a really, really good job in this series, and I'm very happy to see that because he is one of the players that gets critiqued quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I mean, that round is a perfect example of just a player who, knows how to play exactly to the limit, but not beyond. He just pushes at the exact right timing, gets the free frag, knows he has time to take the AWP, take the smoke, uses it perfectly, peeks once, gets a really nice frag through the smoke, and then peeks again, gets another, falls back safely, plays it smart, and yeah, it's just a really, really sick round from Dead Fox through and through.
Yeah, no, I think that it's definitely testament that he has had some ridiculously impactful rounds, like just spray control and aggressive plays that have actually worked out and caught players out in positions that he never should be getting away with, as you said, on both maps. So, yeah, impressive performance from Dead Fox so far. And, well, now we head into overtime, and this is where we really see what Red Reserve had to offer, because the one thing I will say about the CT side for HellRaisers is the fact that they never seem to actually have money. Like, at any point, I was never going, oh, yeah, they've got stacks and stacks of cash, because they kept, like, making big mistakes and losing lots of players. Well, here we go again. And this was just great. That shot, even without the kill feed, I wouldn't have even been able to tell that hit. Like, that was so fast, and to get away at the same time. But yeah, I think now that they have money, now that they can, if they want, throw in a double AWP setup, they can have all that utility available to them. This is where I think we're going to really see Red Reserve tested, and whether or not they have sort of just done very well at breaking the economy, which of course is very difficult. It is not. I'm not saying as if, oh yeah, it's easy to just break the economy and then carry on and like drag. But whether or not they can face off against the sort of full firepower of this HellRaisers team.
Yeah, and I think it's actually pretty amazing that it's obviously just by chance, but we're at a tournament where the two most critiqued players on the server have been stepping up massively. AZ had a really good series versus Force, and
oh, without him, they 100% would have lost.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any doubt about that. Like they won the last map just and scraped through it, and he had some crucial clutches in pretty much all of them.
Yeah. I'm not so sure he was that great on Inferno. I don't really recall any rounds where he was, but he was just solid all around, right? That was the main thing, and yeah, he just did a really, really good job. And now Dead Fox, I mean, you can really see that stats don't tell the complete tale. He's just been phenomenal today, and I'm really hoping that he can continue this.
You have great stats, don't you?
Yeah, but I mean, who cares? I mean,
no, I'm just winding you up.
Yeah, I know, but people just care a bit too much about stats sometimes, I mean, the only reason that people like me and Boxic, for example, who's also a perfect example, I'm not saying he's a bad player, of course, but the reason that people have good stats is because they've got teammates that are willing to sacrifice themselves. And that's just how it is. It's just a different role. Some roles are set up to have good stats, some roles are not. And Dead Fox has the really bad role. But Angel plays a big role in this round for sure. And Issa, with 2 good kills, could have even had the 3rd there. Not going to be happening. Voxic up at the back of library. This smoke even has a gap, but Relaxer wise enough to spray it. And now Voxic. We didn't even see it, but I bet it was an insane shot. The second was at least.
Yeah,
Voxic
shutting things down with the AWP, and that will be the first round of overtime. Going to the CT side. Still a very close one, though. Like, again, it took some impactful plays coming out from Issa, the aggression to middle to take that frag, and even then it still ends into a 2 versus 2. So, close stuff. Red Reserve obviously wanting to bounce back as soon as possible. I didn't catch whether it was MR3 10K or 16. Imagine...
It says at the top 2 out of 6, so I assume it's... But
no, it's always MR3.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, yeah, it used to actually be some tournaments like Face It was MR5, yeah, true.
That was hell.
It really was, but I would assume that it must have been 16K, right?
I think
Bondig must have bought something and he has like 12K. And Voxic also had over 10K after buying Orb, so surely. Or what? Dead Fox, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it was 16K.
We'll see in the second half.
Yeah, Freddy Frog has 7.7. No way he has that if... yeah, really good. Again, Dead Fox, just phenomenal. Gets the kill, gets out, doesn't even take a single point of damage, and instead he drops... Oh, I mean, he even just drops probably the star player of Red Reserve on this map. It's between him and Boten for sure. Both did really, really well. So, another very impactful kill coming in from Dead Fox. And now, the T's looks like they're going to be grouping up towards the A bomb site.
And we are going to be having the push onto the side itself. This has been pretty good in this pit so far. We'll see if he can continue that, but actually waits to throw the pop flash out. Will it happen again with the Molotov? No, it won't. But he still takes 2 frags before he burns alive. Impressive stuff under pressure. Literally under flames. And now we're going to have the T side fighting back from a 2 versus 3. Push will be coming in from DevFox. Support rotating in from Bondik as well. They will just wait to take this as a team, but they've got no utility left. In fact, there isn't a single grenade left in the server at the moment. It all comes down to raw aim, and while that's where the CT side should have themselves the advantage, they do have that man advantage. Barton waiting in position, doesn't manage to connect the shots, and his teammate starts to take damage, but Pleasant actually wins the battle, looks to try and peek out, but loses the second. Bomb's starting to tick fast, though. They need to get rid of Botten, and that's exactly what Angel will do. Just enough time, I think, to get this defusal, and it will be 17 to 15. That was damn close.
Yeah, but a pretty solid retake. I'm really impressed by Angel sitting there at the barrel on short, and he just holds mouse 1, hoping that the guy somehow walks into his spray, which he does, gets the kill, and then also gets the last. So really well played by Angel, and a very important round. I think they're up 17-15 now here in overtime, and if they win this last one, all they need is that single T round. And I mean, actually, the CT side has been pretty strong in this half, or in this game, I mean. But this time it will be Relaxer to open up onto Voxic.
Voxic going for some next level aggression as he just throws the smoke down, looks to try and run through it. A surprise factor that ends up not being so much of a surprise, as Relaxer will take him down early on. And this was some of the problems that we actually saw from HellRaisers, was when they do lose that early pick, some of their plays can be quite reactive, attempting to get themselves back into the round. And that's where Red Reserve actually thrive. If they're ready for your aggression, if they're ready for the push, they definitely have the individuals that will take your head off as you look to do it. However, this time we're just seeing a bit more of a gamble stack. Dead Fox, he's been good at holding down that B site. He's going to be left to do it alone. Molotov will force the T's back, at least for now, but the fact is just a solitary push onto that B site could net all the information needed for Red Reserve.
The T's using the advantage, trying to see if they could find the site that is not currently being stacked. But instead, Bondik comes around, and we see again 30 seconds. Bondik has saved the Molotov. As soon as the smoke pops here, Bondik with Molotov. Smoke didn't even pop. Now a lot of Molotovs coming in. Dead Fox barely makes it out alive, but he somehow manages to stay behind quad and then might not be aware of this. So Bondik taking the first, and then Dead Fox peeking, trying to get the trade, but instead it's going to be Borton who takes 2. And a 3rd. And a 4th? No, not this time around.
Right, he'll meet his doom with Issa, who's left into the 1 versus 3. Has a kit, but that's about it, and has an awful lot left to do. Spots the first, second will peak, and very quick trade from Pleasant. So they'll get themselves a T round in the end. And the aggression in the early stage of the round, they never really seem to recover from that. It will be 17 to 16, and well, 2 rounds needed for HellRaisers to take this. 2 rounds needed for Red Reserve to get to OT, and the full 3 if they want to be taking this in normal time.
I think that ship has sailed already for them to take it in normal time.
Yeah, in the first overtime.
Oh, really?
I was up early, you know. This is tough.
No, you went to bed late. You weren't up early.
I don't know. I think 7 a.m. or like is pretty early.
Yeah, okay, I agree. It was way too early for me, at least.
What time do you have to get up on a normal Sprout day?
On a normal Sprout day.
What time do you rise? What time do you grow?
Well, when the sun shines through my window, of course. I need a lot of sunlight.
That's so when you flower.
Yeah, okay. But when we practice from 13 to 21. So I don't have to get up early. It's like
not
a dream job.
Then again, when I'm not working, I don't have to get up at all. So.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a pretty nice day. It's a tough life.
Yeah.
It's a real struggle.
Yeah, it sounds like it, man.
You picked the wrong profession. You got to stick to the caster life.
Okay. I'm saying it live now. I'm quitting Sprout.
You heard it here first. It was 16K by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Lots of money in the bank for both of these teams.
has gotten a very cheap off.
Yeah.
And Krias has also gotten a pretty good deal on his
hey, yeah, he's actually made money off buying weapons.
Oh, triple nade there.
You know what? That's what Betsnet can do. It can make... No, actually, I'm not... It's a good website. There you go. That's what I'll say. Although I can't confirm. CT side doing a lot of damage with the utility. T's actually taking a bit themselves. Relaxer so quick. Will remove Angel from action. Now with a man advantage, the CT side. Yep, smoke down. Exactly the same as what we saw from DevFox. Find that opening pick, throw the smoke, fall back. Don't need to take any further duels. Make the T's come to you. That's what they say. Treat them mean, keep them keen. Although not normally with bullets. That's a little bit too mean.
Do you think Borton will just continue to hit headshots even though he's playing AWP right now?
I hope so.
I don't think that guy has ever gotten a kill by just shooting someone in the body. So I think we'll see him hit this headshot.
There we go. It's your reputation on the line. Push. Going to be coming in.
Oh,
he's going to be flashed completely. Never mind. He gets nothing as the T's entry onto the site. DevFox with 2 and Issa there to help him. Already the CT side, well, they're left over towards the B site, and it will be series point coming up for HellRaisers. No real chance of this retake coming in. Chance to at least retrieve an AWP for Freddy Frog. Obviously, no real reason to go for anything here, even though they'll have the money to buy into the next round anyway, unless it's just a confidence booster, taking a couple of weapons away, because ultimately, it does nothing to HellRaisers' economy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? It does nothing to the HellRaisers economy, but I guess playing the round does nothing to the CT economy either. So
the only thing would be the AK. That's the only thing they can lose.
Yeah, okay. You can. You're right about that. But I mean, I'm not saying they should have necessarily played the round. I just really don't see why they shouldn't, in a way.
No, I get it.
You can't really run out of money in MR3 16K, but I don't know. It's probably
well, that's one thing I've noticed, that like there's times, for example, it could be a 5v1, and there'll be someone who'll peek in, even though that it will do no damage to economy taking 1 kill away. Is that confidence? Just like peeking in, taking 1 kill, and then running away? Because you see so many players do it where it's just like, yeah, I got one. See you later, guys.
I mean, sometimes it surely can be.
I got 1 kill.
Oh my god.
And then
Woxic just... Borden just tried to jump across, and Woxic hit him.
And
what is it with these triple nades, man?
If you got the money, you might as well. And
it's true.
Freddy, well, he's definitely been forced off that angle.
Yeah.
Having to take a step back, but as said, this is series point after we saw Red Reserve with a chance of their own. Plessen will be able to turn things back into a 4v4 at least, although the HP definitely benefits them, and the aggression of Bondic comes close, although again, Plessen there to trade. Keeps things alive. Woxic waiting will remove him from the site, and while this time there is no choice but to go for a retake for the CTs, the bomb will be planted, and Freddy, Frog, and Kreese are going to have to try and save it here from Red Reserve. DevFox eventually will get the bomb down. It's given them a little bit of extra time to rotate, but Woxic actually still has a full set of utility to slow down any further pushes that Red Reserve look to go for. Angel hiding in the graveyard as well, though not for long. It's about to get hot in there, but he peeks out and finds the headshot, looks for the second as well, and grabs all the information needed for HellRaisers now. DevFox looking to try and close this, but Woxic will be there to do it, and it is the 2-0 from HellRaisers. A decent performance from Red Reserve on the second map, especially considering the circumstances, and a much better map than what we saw in the first, that has to be said.
You think
Even
so?
just on numbers.
Yeah.
They were 16 times better.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it sucks to be Red Reserve, but at the same time, it is a double elimination bracket. They're not out of the tournament just yet. And I mean, at least after this Inferno match, they must be feeling somewhat confident that they could beat a team that's worse than HellRaisers, right? So
well, at least North isn't down there. Because that could have been a possibility.
That would have sucked.
It's like, oh, who have we got? Oh, great.
Well, I mean, you still could get Virtus Pro or Gambit.
That's true.
I'm not sure.
Well, even then, like out of that Gambit Godsent game, I don't think there's a team that you want to face in the next round.
No, that's actually true. Especially not if you're Red Reserve, you're Swedish, and you have to play versus another Swedish team. Like domestic matchups.
Or you play a team from the CIS.
Yeah, that's also.
Either way, it's horrible. So yeah, a pretty brutal bracket, of course. And as said, it was a much better performance from them. I think that they definitely showed that they, even with a stand-in, they can perform, and they brought things very close. In fact, they had themselves the map point at one point, and it was only a heroic play from DevFox that actually turned things back. So it had to be a big performance from HellRaisers to take that map over the line.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was just, all in all, a really good second map there. There was like plays from both sides that, yeah, I just think it was a very enjoyable match.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely better than the 16-1. So I'm glad they at least got something back to sort of show us what they've got. I'm looking forward to seeing like them face off in the next round. Obviously, I don't know if it's already decided who they play against or if it's like the other side of the bracket, because obviously there are some sort of nicer games that could be down there. I think that they could definitely have a good match versus someone like Fraxters, or if they end up falling. And also you got Fours down there, who I think that Red Reserve would be the favorites to win that, even with the stand-in. Although Fours did look pretty good versus North earlier, but we're still yet to really gauge if it's like North performing badly or if it's actually Fours playing well, or maybe a bit of both. Either way, Desk, it's your time again to break things down after, of course, a short commercial break.
5 reasons to bet on bets.net. 1. We are not a bookmaker agency. We are a betting exchange. We are fine with any outcome of the event, so we have no reason not to pay your win. The information about the bets is available for everyone in real time. We stand for fair esports. 2. Instant replenishment and withdrawal of funds. No delays, checks, and restrictions. 3. Convenient mobile app on iOS and Android. All site functionality is in your pocket. Bonuses for each user of the app. 4. More than 800,000 people trust us. We are the most visited esports bet site in the CIS. 5. All coefficients are fully transparent and the commission rate is the lowest. We play fair and square. Bets.net. Visit us and win with us.
Well, we certainly